Gotcha. I mean, okay, if you were going to this video and genuinely expecting my wish list for the PS6, what is wrong with you? Have you seen the state of the industry right now? Everything is in shambles, from PlayStation announcing that they're gonna not make physical games, Xbox announcing that their prices are gonna skyrocket, Nintendo with, I mean, not as much, but you know, they have game key cards. That's annoying. I don't like game key cards. The Steam machine being $1,000 minimum. This is, to put it frankly, a horrible time for the medium, okay? Literally everything that could have gone wrong in gaming feels like it has gone wrong in gaming. And it's got me thinking, well, hold on, what the hell happened? How did we get here to this moment? I think I could split this down into 3 sections, okay? The first one, and the easiest one to point out, is everything is expensive now. Guys, remember when a console was $299? Remember when a game was $60? $60 used to be like the perfect price point. It was right between like, wow, that's way too much money, and oh, okay, that's actually like a fairly reasonable price. Okay, like it made gaming still feel like somewhat of a luxury, because let's make it quite clear, like gaming has always been a luxury, okay? It is not a very accessible medium to the vast majority of people. But $60 was at the range where like, okay, you could stomach that. And you know what? Maybe if you had even had a great day at work and gotten a good payday, maybe got some good tips, you could salvage or fork out enough for 2 games. Nowadays, with the base being 70, that was already honestly too high for me. Okay, I tapped out at 70, all right? And now it's getting even worse. We're going up to 80. Nintendo technically started this, okay? They started with Mario Kart World, and I want to make an addendum to my Switch 2 video where I said it was worth it. No. Mario Kart World is an incredible game. I love it. It is my favorite Mario Kart besides DS, but it is not worth $80. Really think about $80. Think about the games that you got for 60. Elden Ring was 60. Breath of the Wild was 60. Uncharted 4 was 60. We used to get deals. Capital D, pause, deals. And now games are getting exorbitantly expensive for the average Joe Schmo. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 6 is straight up locking content behind a $100 paywall. Why can't I not go to the barber unless I pay $20 extra, okay? My GTA character is gonna look scruffy and messed up, and it's all because I didn't want to fork out enough money to spend on like an actual game. For $20, I could probably buy Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 just for shits and giggles. But even ignoring all that, games are not only becoming more expensive for the consumer, they're also becoming more expensive for the developers. Maybe it's because every game is striving for that like Red Dead 2 quality, but oh my god, game prices have become insanely expensive. I talked about this a couple years ago in my Next Gen is Disappointing video, but video games are becoming way too pricey and way too time consuming to make. Again, Grand Theft Auto 6, it will probably be worth the billions of dollars invested, and it will probably have been worth it to, you know, spend 6 years at minimum developing the game. But we used to get Grand Theft Autos every other year, okay? Grand Theft Auto 3 to Vice City took a year to develop, and I'm sure that was a massive crunch-filled process. I do not envy any of the developers at Rockstar who went from this to this, okay? I don't. But you know what? 6 years is kind of OD, isn't it? Grant, I'm being generous with the 6-year factor. Actually, I just realized something. I'm wrong. I completely forgot that Red Dead actually came out in 2018, not 2020. So guess what? It would actually be 8 years. 8 years. What the fuck happened? This is just the state we're in right now. Everything is expensive. And you know what makes that worse? Is the fact that companies don't want you to own anything anymore. Companies hate the fact that you own a game. The fact that you own a copy of Skyrim and won't buy another copy of Skyrim keeps Todd Howard up at night. It is this weird mindset that's injected into all these like gaming higher ups mentalities where they just don't want you to own a game. It's crazy because sure, like, there are positives to a digital-only gaming model, okay? I'll even admit, personally, as someone who did try to collect a bunch of physical games for their Switch 1 library, I've only bought like 2 or 3 physical games for my Switch 2. Most of my purchases have been digital because digital is more convenient, it's more fun to just be able to easily access something. Like, I totally see the benefits. I even see the benefits of a streaming service, okay? But I also liked owning my game. There are certain games that I need to own, and ideally, I'd like to own physically. Can I actually tell you a story? This is a real story, not like the story I told in my Video Game Movies Matter video where I just like yapped for like 3 seconds, okay? This is a real story. Back during COVID, prior to me having like any of these like massive next gen or even like a PS4, like those level consoles, I wanted to play Red Dead 2. And so I was thinking, well, wait a minute, what's the system I can play Red Dead 2 on even though I don't have a system? Stadia. Google Stadia. I decided, why don't I try Google Stadia? And I was so close to buying Red Dead 2, one of the most massive immersive games that has ever been made off of Google Stadia, which was gonna shut down in like, well, I didn't know, but it was gonna shut down in like 2 or 3 years. I would have lost all that progress because guess what? Even though I bought the game, even though I would have spent $60, the full price, I wouldn't have owned it. And that's the reality they want you to live in. Xbox Game Pass, it's the same thing. Sure, you put a bunch of time into this game on Game Pass. Once you stop paying, it is not yours. Give that shit back, okay? It sucks. It sucks. It sucks that I won't be able to have a physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 6. Sure, Blu-rays practically don't even hold any space anymore because games are horribly unoptimized, which we'll get to. But I like the idea of owning a disc that at any time I could pop in and be like, this is the game, a 1.0 release, I will always have this on me, and that'll never change, and that's just not the case anymore. And this leads me to the final thing. Actually, didn't lead me to the final thing at all. This is gonna be a really bad segue, but we're running down over to the final thing. Optimization. Nothing is optimized anymore, guys. Nothing. Game companies, for some reason, just hate the concept of maybe making sure that a game runs well on their systems, okay? Perfect example was the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I was so excited for this. I thought it was gonna be the coolest shit ever. I even went out to a preview event and then I played it and it ran way worse than the original did, okay? What the fuck? Why is it an unstable 40 FPS? Why is there dithering all over Snake's hair? It, for some reason, makes the game honestly feel like a less polished experience than the original, the PS2 game, okay? And that is the norm now, okay? I'm saying okay like 40 times, but like, look at video games and the character's hair. I've honestly thought about making a whole video on this because it pissed me off that much, but why does every video game character's hair look like shit now? You wanna know why? Because these developers don't take the month it would probably take to optimize their games, all right? That's why you have fluctuating frame rates. That's why you have these crappy image qualities. And like, I get on like a low power system like a Switch, I'm not gonna begrudge it for not being able to run some of this shit well, but like my PS5, my supercomputer underneath my basement entertainment center can't run a game properly? What? What are we doing? Okay? Genuinely, what are we doing in this industry right now? What is happening? Why is this the standard to which every single piece of gaming media is being held to? It's absurd. It's incredibly, incredibly saddening. So what can we do? Okay, what can we do when the PS6 comes out and inevitably fixes these minor things that basically make every modern game feel a little busted? Don't buy it. Do not buy a PlayStation 6 or whatever the fuck the Xbox is gonna be called. Xbox Series X 720, 960, S10e, like whatever the hell it'll be called, okay? Just vote with your wallet. Seriously, I know this is something every single gaming YouTuber says at some point, but vote with your wallet, okay? If you're not happy with the fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is $80 to $100, don't spend the $100. If you're unhappy that a game doesn't run as well as you thought it would run because it's a PS2 game being remastered on a PS5, so why the fuck does it run at a suboptimal frame rate? Don't buy it. Well, vote with your wallet, people, and maybe then it can show these companies that, oh shit, oh, this isn't gonna fly anymore. And maybe then we'll be happy, and happy will be good. Guys, I just spent like 15 minutes yelling my ass off. I'm really tired. I tried to record this video like 5 times. Don't buy a PS6. That's the lesson, okay? And with that being said, I'll see you later. I don't even have a question for this one for engagement. Maybe just subscribe, okay? I need some subscribers, all right? Bye-bye.